It's Friday, May 11th, and I'm your host, Paula Hersey. On today's show, we meet Grayson the Turtle, we talk to the Art on Loan visual artist for May, and mark your calendars for two great events at the HYCC next weekend. A look at today's weather, sunshine along with some cloudy intervals, high around 60, winds north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Sunset this evening is at 7:50. Let's start with some news you can use. Food insecurity is a year-round challenge here on Cape Cod, and Saturday you have the chance to help your community. In all 7 villages across our town, postal workers will collect non-perishable food donations left by the mailboxes and in post offices and deliver them to local community food banks, pantries, and shelters. To donate, just place a bag with non-perishable food items next to your mailbox before letter carriers deliver the mail this Saturday, May 12th. Your local post office will do the rest. The food is sorted and delivered to an area food bank or pantry where it is available for needy families. With 42 million people facing hunger every day in America, including 13 million children, this drive is one way you can help those in your community who need help. Please, let's all help stamp out hunger in our community. Meet Grayson, a diamondback terrapin turtle who will be going home to Sandy Neck Marsh in just a few short weeks. Amy Croto, Natural Resource Officer, joins us in studio to talk about the release event and more great upcoming educational programs and events. We have such a special guest in the studio today, Grayson, the turtle. But more importantly, we have Amy Croto from Natural Resources. You have brought this wonderful little guy in with you today. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem. This is, in fact, a diamondback terrapin, a federally threatened species of turtle in the state of Massachusetts. We run through the town of Barnstable a Head Start program that allows us to take nests that are laid within the ORV corridor at Sandy Neck, move them to safe dunes, raise them in the field, and then put them in classrooms throughout the winter so that kids can raise them to about this size, which is a much more difficult to predate by everything, including chipmunks, size. This little guy is part of our public release program. Every year we raise at our office, at least 1, but sometimes upwards of 3 or 4. Yep. And we will be releasing Grayson along with Cyclobomb and Peanutty at the Sandy Neck. We'll all be meeting at the Gatehouse at about 5:30 p.m. on June 25th. We'll take about a 10-minute walk out into the marsh and put them back out into the wild so they can start the rest of their head-started life.
And when we talked to Sean Cordes over last week, he had suggested that the notch, didn't tell us about the notch, but you just told me, but they're also tagged now.
They are, yes. So a handful of them, I believe we were able to do 21 or 24 out of the 74 that are in the program this year. And so they are pit tagged just underneath their left leg. And then in case the pit tag comes out, when we scan them in future years, they have a small notch on the bottom of their shell that will sort of grow out with them, but will allow us to know if we scan the animal that the pit tag had been removed and we would have to replace it.
Right. He's a little active guy, huh?
He certainly is, yes.
He's awesome. So you're here to really tell us about all the things that are just the classes. You do an enormous amount of public outreach and education.
We do.
For the town of Barnstable. And let us know what classes are coming up that people can participate in.
Sure. So I also brought with me my less lively, as he is stuffed, Osprey. Osprey are probably our surest sign that spring has for real 100% arrived, so I figured it was fitting to bring him with me today. We have what we call a salvage program, and we currently have 19 stuffed animals in the program. So we visit classrooms, organizations, libraries, doing educational outreach about our local wildlife on Cape Cod, troubleshooting coexisting with our wildlife, which can be troublesome for people. And over the summer, we have, I will be at the Barnstable Senior Center on June 8th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. I will be part of the welcoming committee at Bismore, offering wildlife talks at Bismore Park on July 12th from 4:30 to 5:30, as well as August 16th from 4:30 to 5:30. And then I do, classrooms right up until the end of the school year. We also, aside from the Terrapin program and the wildlife outreach, offer learn to shell fishing classes for people. In the past, we only really did them for kids, and we have clamming class for kids, which is usually centered around Father's Day because the water's warm enough to get the kids in there and actually enjoying themselves. So those are planned for June 16th at 8 a.m. All classes are held at Bridge Street Landing in Osterville. June 17th, we're meeting at 9 a.m. and June 20th, we're meeting at 11:30 a.m. We also, because there was so much popularity amongst novices to the shell fishery that weren't in fact children, have started offering what we call clamming classes for all people. And so anyone is welcome to attend these classes. June 30th, we're meeting at 7:30 a.m., July 18th at 10 a.m., and August 19th at 1 p.m., again, all at Bridge Street Landing in Osterville. It's got a huge parking lot. It's an easy place for us to sort of pre-stock with cohogs, so people don't get so disappointed at not getting anything and really learn the technique. And there's also some really nice steamer sets there. So we can teach them.
Do they need to bring equipment with them, or?
I always suggest that you want to be comfortable for working out in the elements. We hold these classes rain or shine, of course, with the exception of thunder, lightning, hurricanes, those sorts of things, which do happen from time to time. Gloves are definitely, in my opinion, a must. If you're comfortable being in your bathing suit in the water in early June or, you know, July or August, as I imagine most people are, then that's perfectly fine, but it is rocky terrain, so I always suggest water shoes, hip boots, or waders for those who have them.
Right. Do they have to sign up for it?
There is no required sign up, but if you do intend on RSVPing, just to let us know, it can be helpful in terms of parking, because although it is a large lot, it does fill up quickly, and especially in the summer because it's, you know, multi-user group area. So you can email either myself, amy.croteau, C-R-O-T-E-A-U, at town.barnstable.ma.us, or liz.lewis at the same.
Okay, excellent. What really, when you teach a kid to clam, what are you really teaching them?
To enjoy the outdoors. We find now that children are sort of removed from the outdoors largely and are attached very much so to technology, and this gives us an opportunity to literally take them out into the water, show them that there are things living in the water that, you know, you don't want to eat. I mean, no one really eats green crabs or spider crabs, but they're still just as interesting. And then show them that there are treasures that you can eat just underneath the sand, right in your backyard.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for coming. And Grayson, thanks for joining us today. We really, really enjoyed your presence here on
Star of the show.
The star of the show, exactly. Thanks so much, Amy.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Visual artist Ann Totka and I participated in an artist retreat last fall out on Sandy Neck Marsh. She was in studio to talk about the experience, and her art is on loan right here at Town Hall in the hearing room. Over the course of the year, Barnstable Town Hall has the pleasure of showing local artists' works in our hearing room. Today with me, Ann Totka, who is a visual artist and had a wonderful experience out at Sandy Neck this past fall.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
So talk a little bit about how you became a visual artist.
I think I've always been a visual artist. So I was really lucky to have an artist as a mother. So from the time I was really young, our activities were always painting for fun and all of that. And then I enrolled in art classes when I was 8 years old and have been doing fine art painting ever since. So that was a pretty amazing opportunity to be able to learn that at such a young age.
Wow. And from your bio and your artist statement, you've traveled really literally all over the world to follow that artist muse.
I have. I also love art history, and I love different art periods, so it's great learning it from a book, but as soon as I started traveling and kind of experiencing the culture where, you know, all of these different kinds of art are taking place, it just opened everything up, and now I definitely have that travel itch to go everywhere and see all the things.
That's amazing. Some of the places that you've been to Romania and some of those winding cobble streets, that must have been amazing.
Yeah, it was like really a magical experience. I'll look back on photos and be like, wait, I was really there. This looks like a Pinterest board or something. It was really incredible just to be in such an old culture. You know, I think this area is old, all the colonialism, all of that, but oh my God, all the medieval architecture and everything was just so inspiring.
Well, talking about magical experiences, you had the opportunity through the Cape Cod Art Association, which I believe is the Art Center of Cape Cod now, we'll call it by its new name. And the town of Barnstable has a little shack out on Sandy Neck, and you and I went together.
Yes, we did. That was so much fun, especially meeting you there. I felt like it was such an amazing opportunity to not only get to access that area, but also meet other artists who are doing the same thing. So that was, I still have so many photos and sketches I did from there that I'm like, okay, this is going to sustain me for a while doing new projects.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about being out there for the days. A lot of people don't understand that, you know, they see the front-facing beach of Sandy Neck, but there's a whole nother life and ecosystem behind those dune barriers. And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we were dropped off at the halfway house, which I believe is the halfway point on the, what's it called, the Great Road?
The Great Marsh Road, yeah.
Great Marsh Road. It was a Great Marsh
Or
Road.
trail.
Yeah. So yeah, we got dropped off there and then spent a ton of time walking. I kept thinking, okay, now I'm going to stop and paint. No, wait, what's around the corner? All of that. So it was just amazing to get to see the marsh from that area and to really be immersed in it. It felt very quiet, which was really nice to be kind of know you're in the middle of everything, but have this experience that I don't know where else you would get it.
Right. So you talk about going around the corner. I came around the corner and saw you painting. I mean, describe that experience. It was a magical day because the weather was just absolutely gorgeous. It was mid-October.
I think it was 70 degrees. I think it was suntan out there. Yeah, it was amazing. I kind of walked the whole trail, and then on the way back was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. And I just came around this bend, saw this beautiful scene with the light hitting it just right, the blue shadows. And so I just set up my easel as close in the marsh as I could without disturbing any conservation efforts. Right. And yeah, I just went to painting, and so I have a few little gouache sketches that I'm going to turn into larger oil paintings later.
Great. Perfect segue to the oil paintings that are adorning the hearing room upstairs.
Yeah.
And it's literally stunning work.
Thank you.
You know, having seen you out there with your camera and knowing what the visual was out there, we talk about the experience of hanging your work in Town Hall.
Well, it's such a cool program that I didn't realize until I got more involved with Town Hall was here. It's an artwork on loan program where they feature different artists for periods of time, and you get to either groups or single artists, local artists, and you get to hang your work in the hearing room and the public office room.
Yep.
Not sure what that's called. And yeah, so it's a really great opportunity to kind of low pressure situation, but tons of exposure to just really design this show on my own. You know, you're not working in restrictions of a gallery, and so it's a pretty cool opportunity right now.
And you're going to be up there for a period of time, at least through the end of this month. So we highly encourage residents to come in and look at this work. Most of it's from Sandy Neck.
It is, yeah. Yeah, that was I had a lot of paintings, and then when I got the opportunity to show here, I was like, ooh, I got to get all those half-finished Sandy Neck oil paintings finished. So it was pretty cool because it was such an inspiring place. The light was so amazing. It felt really Cape Cod, but I also loved that we went there in the fall when it's sort of not your typical beach scene or beach sunset. So I have a nice marsh sunset, but you know, all those gorgeous golds and rich colors of fall that you don't always see in Cape Cod art.
It's stunning work.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm
and
really
I
happy
loved
with
meeting you, and it was a wonderful day out there. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
'Tis the season for outdoor events, and to kick it all off, the grand reopening of the Hyannis Youth and Community Center is next weekend. Patty Machado tells us more. It's that time of week again where we get our update from Barnstable Rec. With me today, Patty Machado.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having you. You have to be so excited. The refurb almost done.
And it's
Here.
better than I thought.
Better than you thought.
Yeah.
Excellent. Tell us a little bit about how it's gone.
Well, last week we talked about how you enter the building. Well,
Right.
as we were watching people come in to get their beach stickers, they're actually putting their foot down gently saying, is this floor wet? That's how shiny it is. It's beautiful. And now they've completed almost all the 100% of all the floors in the building. The gym's been redone, the Shepley room, everything's sparkling, including all the way down the hall. Everything just, I mean, it all looks wet. It looks so fresh and so clean. And when you walk in, that smell just hits you. It's like, wow, is this a new building? We've actually had people say, did you get a new building? It's like, no, because they haven't been there before. And now they're like, it smells brand new. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
The only thing left to finish is, well, they're still painting.
Right.
They've almost painted the entire facility. They've ripped out all the downstairs, all the mats and all the locker rooms and all along the edges. They're what they call pressure washing all of those, drying them out in the sun. So the sun's been a bonus.
Excellent.
To make things speed up, actually, as far as downstairs cleaning goes. But the Kennedy rink's probably going to take a little bit longer, but we kind of anticipated that it might. They're going to be refurbishing the pipes, and taking the sand out wasn't as simple as just shoveling it and bringing it out because it's been there for 9 years. It's pretty packed in, very solid. The DPW workers, all of them have been working like dogs. And as nice as it is, they're sweating to death in a rink,
Right.
because there's no coldness and there's no cooling in there, so it's very hot. But I can't say enough good things about our collaboration with the DPW. We're very blessed in this town to have such hard, dedicated workers, and I can't say enough good things about the operation and what they're doing for us. Not just there, but our beaches are opening up too, so they get a full force out at our beaches. In our ball fields, they're out mowing, they're out trying to
They're
keep
everywhere right
oh,
now.
I just like they don't have enough guys to do all this work.
We saw them mowing out this morning
yeah.
too. So yeah, the collaboration I love between departments here. You know, you had a really big project. It was planned. It was executed. You're ready to open. So let's talk about that grand reopening again.
Yes.
It's coming up really soon.
So Friday, May 18th. Okay, that Friday from 6 to 8. We'll be having free public skating, so come on down. If you need skates, they're $5 to rent skates, but those are brand new too. We've got new skates from the Belzekian Foundation, and we've ordered some more, so by the end of this year we'll have replaced all of our skates. All our rental skates will be brand new, and we have the king of sharpeners down there. We have Steve Schaefer, who sharpens our skates, so they are the best you could possibly get for a rental. Yeah, so it's kind of nice. So come on down. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have some fun. We're going to make it a big day. And if you want to see the facility, we'll have our great Joe Izzo, our manager, escorting people around to show them what's been done, so that you can actually physically understand all the work that got done and how great our DPW is.
Great. That's May 18th, 6 to 8, and it's the Rejuvenation Project complete. That's nice.
Come on down. Yeah, we're really excited about showing off the building and the work that DPW's done.
And it doesn't end there, so now you're like bang into the season, things are happening. What's the next event up?
So right after that, we have the Piggy Trot, which is run by the Glencoe Fund, but we collaborate with them because the town really does receive a lot of the majority of the money comes back into our community. As you go to the beach, you see the red awning is already up at both Craigville and at Dows's, and that happened because of the Glencoe Fund. They purchased that for us. They also make sure that we have sunscreen. It's already been delivered. It's in my office. So every place, every single building that we have for beaches has sunscreen in the men's and ladies' room. So you don't have to search around for it. When you go in the men's and ladies' room, there's a sign that says Glencoe Fund with a little heart-shaped angel wings.
Oh, very nice.
And you'll see those on the back of the tower, because then when you look at the lifeguard tower, that tower awning is paid for also by that. And those have to be specially made for each tower, because each tower is actually a little bit different. So it's not a little project to help us. And the awnings now, I'm trying to think how old they are, but some of them started to tear, and we've had to replace them. But again, the Glencoe Fund does a lot of good things. And so we need as many people as possible to participate in this Piggy Trot.
That's the Piggy Trot. Yeah, that's a great little race.
Right, and we get a lot of our lifeguards and a lot of the people that worked with Glenna come back. We have a kind of a competition with our all our seasonal staff to see if they'll come back and compete, and if they don't compete, to help out with the event, so that they can continue to make sure that the town of Barnstable has what it needs to keep us sun safe.
Great. So how do they get in touch with, it's the 9th annual, it's Sunday, May 20th?
It is Sunday, May 20th. You can register online, but they'll only take the first 200 people get T-shirts.
Okay.
Last year we had about 500 participants. You can sign up on the day of, but I doubt you'll be able to get a T-shirt. They'll probably be gone by then.
But registration on site at that morning?
Yes,
Okay.
and it's only $35 to participate.
Okay.
And you know, if you come down with your family, if you want to go out in the course and actually volunteer and help out the Cole family and all the people that are involved in the Piggy Trot, it would be great. You can sign up to volunteer online as well, and they could really use that just as much. So whichever way you can help make our beaches, make us have the opportunity to keep people sun safe, keep our lifeguards safe, keep our people safe from the sun, and that education that is paid for is huge. You know, they support the Cancer Fund, and you know, it's a terrible loss, but the family has made a great positive response to that.
Right. So that's a big weekend. Friday night, May 18th. You're 6 to 8. Come see the refurbed, the shiny floor of HYCC, and then the 9th annual Piggy Trot. And where are they going to meet for that?
But Dowses Beach.
Dowses Beach.
And it's a 3.7-mile run or walk. A lot of people do it as a team. I know the Farley family. They lost someone to melanoma there. Well, uncle, brother, cousin, whatever. Their whole family gets together and does a team event. So you can do it as a team.
Oh, great.
A lot of people that have lost people to melanoma, you'll see them wear a T-shirt with the name of the person that they're running the event and doing the event with.
Great.
So some people run, some people walk. We don't care. Just come down there and have some fun and help the community make a difference.
Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us, Patty. Here's a look at the jam-packed community calendar for this weekend. The Providence VA Medical Center, Hyannis VA Clinic, and the Cape Cod Vet Center will host an open house and Veteran Town Hall meeting Saturday, May 12th. The open house runs from 9 a.m. to noon at the Hyannis VA Clinic, 233 Stevens Street in Hyannis, and will feature information about VA healthcare and services. The Veterans Town Hall runs from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Cape Cod Vet Center, 474 West Main Street, Hyannis, and will provide a forum for veterans and family members to raise concerns or questions and receive responses from medical center and vet center leaders. Our community clinics provide accessible primary and mental health care for veterans, and the vet center provides confidential counseling for combat veterans and victims of military sexual trauma, said Dr. Susan McKenzie, director of the Providence VAMC. We invite area veterans to come learn about their local VA facilities and tell us how we're doing. The annual skate park competition outside the Hyannis Youth and Community Center on 141 Bassett Lane in Hyannis is this Saturday, May 12th at noon. Entry fee is just $5, and prizes will be awarded to each age group in skateboard, BMX, and scooter categories. Through the generosity and support of local business owner Lou Nicanello, new ramps and rails were added to the park, and the town of Barnstable's Department of Public Works repaired and painted the California-style bowls and other areas where it was needed. There will be a short ribbon-cutting ceremony at noon to acknowledge all of the staff and community members that helped with the repairs and updated equipment, followed immediately by competition and an award ceremony with a competitors' cookout with support from Stop & Shop, Cape Cod Potato Chips, and Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod. Please keep an eye to the sky. If it rains, the festivities and competition may be scaled back. The HYCC Facebook page, check the HYCC Facebook page for latest updates. There are so many events this weekend to list here, so head on over to www.artsbarnstable.com to plan your weekend. Here is the schedule of boards, commissions, and committees for next week. This quote was inspired by our Art and Nature show today. What is one to think of those fools who tell one that the artist is always subordinate to nature? Art is a harmony parallel with nature. Paul Cezanne. I'm Paula Hersey, and thank you for watching Barnstable Today.